Good evening, Mayor Ludwig, councilors, Enfield residents, business owners, friends, and family. I would like to first thank the Town Council for adopting my FY 2021 budget this evening, which results in a level mill rate of 34.23 and no tax increase. We knew it was important not to additionally burden our taxpayers during this very trying time when so many families are facing economic uncertainty. I am thankful that the budget process is now concluded and we can fully concentrate on the recovery efforts related to COVID-19. I would like to take this opportunity to talk about where we've been, where we are now, and where we are going. Although all departments in town have been transacting business remotely and electronically, today, May 20th, we have begun the physical reopening of the town. All town hall departments will now be available for residents to visit in person by appointment. Access our town website for the numbers of the department you wish to visit, and they will be more than happy to accommodate you with scheduling an appointment. I understand that this has been a deeply frustrating and a very anxious time for all of you, as it has been for us. With the steps we are taking today to reopen, we hope we are beginning to emerge from the effects of the pandemic and start the return to normalcy. It is important to understand that we, as a town, are subject to the laws of the state of Connecticut, and most recently, bound to follow the governor's executive orders, which have the force of law. During this process of reopening, we are following the executive orders of the governor and are also seeking to provide a safe environment for our employees and you, the public. We thank you for your continued patience, your cooperation, and your understanding during this transition. On March 5th, as information about the coronavirus was coming to light, I convened an internal working group which consisted of town administration, elected officials, public health officials, and other stakeholders in our community. On March 10th, Governor Lamont declared a state of emergency in Connecticut. 2 days later, on March 12th, in consultation with our elected official and public officials, I declared a state of emergency for the town of Enfield. I thought it was important to make such a declaration before taking the extraordinary steps of closing down town government and limiting town services. Thereafter, Chris Drezik, the superintendent of schools, closed our public schools, and we closed public libraries, the senior center, and the recreation department. 1 day later, on March 13th, President Trump declared a national state of emergency. We then proceeded to close the Enfield Child Development Center, Youth Center, Family Resource Center, and the Adult Day Center. On March 16th, to ensure resident and employee safety, Town Hall and Department of Public Works had to close their doors to the public. The Department of Social Services did as much work as possible remotely while allowing appointment only for certain programs. On March 19th, Enfield had its first declared case of COVID-19. During the first week of April, we commenced to close all of our playscapes and ceased collecting fares for the Margate Carpet bus service. All actions we took were for our residents' and employees' safety. To address the COVID-19 pandemic, and as briefly mentioned on the previous slide, I created an internal working group on March 5th, which consists of those participants listed above. Shortly thereafter, the North Central Department convened its regional working group, which consists of 8 surrounding towns. Since early March, both the North Central Working Group and the Enfield Working Group have been meeting every Thursday morning. Both groups endeavor to share information and come up with goals and strategies that are to benefit our residents in providing services during these very uncertain times. These working groups will continue for the foreseeable future. We continue learning from our surrounding communities and are implementing the best policies and practices which are suitable here in Enfield. Reopening town services. As of today, May 20th, we were able to begin slowly and safely reopening town services. We anticipate reopening all town services in coming weeks in consultation with public health officials while adhering to the governor's executive orders. Here, you will see a timeline of some reopening activity that has occurred or will occur in the upcoming 2 weeks. Our Department of Recreation has been preparing for summer camp for many weeks. They have filed the appropriate paperwork with the state for permission to allow 50 children into our Tons of Fun summer camp. On May 5th, they received this approval, but we are awaiting further information and guidance from the governor's office to make a determination whether or not it will be possible to actually offer the camp this summer. We will keep you apprised. On May 5th, the Department of Public Works also did a soft opening of the transfer station. The transfer station will accept free of charge yard waste, metal, e-waste, cardboard, and textiles. Residents may also dispose of bulky waste, mattresses, and Freon-based products. To ensure everyone's safety, DPW is only accepting credit and debit cards and checks at this time. All transfer station employees are practicing appropriate social distancing. This reopening has been a success and very much appreciated by our residents. May 14th, thanks to the work of our Development Services staff and our town attorney and his office, our Planning and Zoning Commission approved guidelines for reopening outdoor dining areas for restaurants consistent with the governor's executive order. Restaurants are able to apply for a temporary certificate for outdoor dining. If you are in need of assistance with this process, please contact our Development Services office for immediate help. The Enfield Child Development Center, our ECDC, has received approval as of May 15th to allow them to care for up to 74 children. Thanks to the great relationship we have with the Superintendent of Schools, Chris Drezik, we have also received his approval to use additional Enfield public classrooms at Stowe this summer, which after licensing will allow us to care for up to 194 children during the summer months when parents will be struggling with child care needs. We are anticipating that ECDC will commence to open with the first 30 child care slots on June 1st. But again, stay tuned for specific news of reopening as things are in a constant state of flux. And that brings us to today, May 20th, when we begin reopening Town Hall by appointment only. More information on the opening and access to other departments will be forthcoming in the days and weeks ahead. Beginning next week, the public libraries will begin taking requests for materials and providing curbside pickup. With this slide, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce the directors of the various departments of the town of Enfield. I won't go through each one by name, but you can see their picture and their designation on the slide. These are the individuals who oversee all of the divisions and staff of Enfield town government. They have stepped up and delivered during these most trying and difficult times. I truly appreciate their dedication to our town and its residents. Before COVID-19, we held director meetings twice a month, immediately following council meetings the first and third Mondays of each month. In addition, we held one-on-one meetings with each director on a rotating weekly basis. But since the onset of the pandemic, we have been meeting as a group 3 times per week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and more frequently as necessary. We speak and consult with each other on a daily basis as issues arise. Again, I would like to thank all of the directors for their commitment and professionalism in leading by example during these last few months. I would also like to thank all of our employees in each and every department, from police, EMS, the Department of Public Works, those at the Water Pollution Control Center, our custodians, and those in B&G, all those who have been coming into Town Hall, and all the other departments who have been working remotely to provide the excellent and unparalleled town services that we provide here in Enfield. This next chart is sobering, but it's important to note on the left, we have listed the confirmed cases in Enfield as of May 19th, 396. Tragically, sadly, 24 deaths have occurred in the town of Enfield, and our thoughts and prayers go out to those families who have lost loved ones. On the right, we have the confirmed cases in Connecticut as of 5/18, a total of 38,115 cases and 3,449 deaths. We have been posting these on our website based upon the information from North Central Health District every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I truly and prayerfully look forward to the day when we no longer have to do that. Enfield is open for business and has been open for business. As I've said previously, we were enjoying a very strong economic growth in the town, and I am sure and confident, based on these statistics to follow, that we are going to enjoy that same resurgence of economic activity in the near term. As you can see from this chart, our building department has issued permits from March 12th through May 12th. In the building department, we have issued 179 building permits with construction value of over $66 million. 74 electrical permits with a value of over $28 million in construction value. 37 plumbing permits with value of over $1 million, and 85 mechanical permits totaling over $770,000. I would just like to give a special thank you to the building inspectors who have been going out, doing their job under these stressful circumstances to assure that our residents and businesses are able to expand and continue to do business and make a living for themselves and their families. Information technology. Our activity has been amazing from March 12th through May 19th. Because of the foresight of IT in getting us operational systems and technology, our staff and employees have been able to have over 10,555 one-on-one team calls, 8,296 group team calls, 7,423 meetings with over 15,000 participants, and 279,410 messages back and forth between employees, town residents, in order to assist and deliver services to the town. It is simply stunning and amazing, and I thank our IT department. Our town clerk is an exceptional individual, and so is her staff. They've been coming in to continue to transact business in the town hall during this epidemic. From March 12th through May 12th, there have been over 3,955 land record recordings. We have received over 142 vital records received. We have issued over 117 certified copies of vital records. We have issued 97 burial and cremation permits, 20 marriage licenses on a happier note, and our dog license are beginning. We've issued 11 so far. We'll be very busy during the month of June, and I would just note, incidentally, that we have more registered dogs licensed in Enfield than any other town in the state of Connecticut. So although our buildings were closed entirely or partially, we were always open for business. And again, this chart reflects what I just recounted for you. If you look sort of to the left, it shows a flat line. That's because essentially we transacted business in person and by telephone. As you start to see the peaks and valleys to the right, you can see the numbers below: 232,000 channel messages, 85,000 reply messages, 52,000 post messages. All of this activity shows the activity that was occurring through IT and technology and electronically and remotely to assist residents and to continue to deliver services. The high peaks show the work that was being done during the week. The valleys show the weekend. There's one sort of lull because this also reflects all of the Board of Education and all of what they're doing, their administrators and teachers, to continue to teach our youth and our children of the town during this time. And one valley shows when they had their spring break. As you can see, our staff and the staff of the Board of Education has continued to work for the past 2.5 months. Our EMS has received approximately 996 calls since the onset of the pandemic, March 12th of 2020. They were exposed to very serious instances of the virus. Being in the back of ambulances and being in people's homes with those people who were very ill. As a result of that, over 60% of our EMTs became infected with the virus over the last several weeks. I am thankful that most all of them have returned to work and are doing well, and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts for their great commitment during this time of great personal risk and exposure. Happily, it is National EMS Week, so we take this opportunity to congratulate and thank all of our EMS workers in the EMS department of Enfield, and also to all of the police officers and firefighters in town who are also EMS workers who assist us in delivering emergency medical services to the residents of Enfield. It is the finest It is the most recognized EMS service in the state of Connecticut, and I'm immensely proud of it. So during this time of blight and distraction, we never left or took our foot off the accelerator. We have been working very diligently to eradicate blight in the town of Enfield. We've had a very aggressive program over the last year, and it has culminated in the following two groups of slides in a short video. Over the past year, our development services and our blight officers worked very, very hard to come to the point where we would be able to actually demolish 3 buildings at 28 South River Street. That has been accomplished thanks to the fact that Governor deemed construction to be an essential service, and we took advantage of that exemption. On 32 Church Street, there were also 3 buildings that had been an eyesore and a blight to that community and the neighborhood. We, as this short video will show, also were able to take advantage of the essential services construction exemption. Those buildings were turned down, much to the satisfaction and happiness of everybody in that neighborhood. So, at least on those 2 properties, I can say mission accomplished. Not only are we taking down the old, but we are bringing in the new. And that's our plan today for a Better Tomorrow program. We've had a very successful community garden on Main Street with over 30 plots. Even before the pandemic, we wanted to expand this program. We decided that expanding right now would be a good fit, as it would give residents something to look forward to during the summer. Thanks to the support and funding of the Town Council and quick action by our Planning and Zoning Commission, we have now added almost 60 plots at 2 new locations, the Central Library and 2 Chapel Street. You can go online today and sign up for $25 a plot. We provide the organic plants, boxes, and all you need to plant today for a better tomorrow. On this slide, you can see what Chapel Street looks like currently. This next slide shows the community garden vision that has been improved. You can see that there will be 36 planter boxes, 4-foot fence, 8-foot gate, and a tool shed, plus a water supply. This shows the current location at the public library and the vision of 10 new planter boxes, a tool shed, water supply, 4-foot fence, and the gate directly adjacent to the library location. Just like to note that we would like to expand this program all over town. If you have an idea or a desire in your neighborhood, near an apartment, or a condo, we would be more than anxious to hear from you and add it to our list for next year. We're also looking at Lafayette Park as a prime location in downtown Thompsonville. We would like to expand this and eventually have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plots in town for our residents to farm. That brings us to a very exciting regional farmers market update. The governor has deemed that the farmers markets are an essential service, and we're glad he did so. So we have completely revamped, retooled, expanded, and enhanced the Enfield Regional Farm Market here in town. We're hopeful and fully expect to have a grand opening on Sunday, July 26th from 10 to 1. This is a change from the past current Wednesday afternoons. We believe it will be much more convenient and attractive to our residents. Again, we anticipate that the kickoff will be in late July, and we will be enjoying fresh produce and other products in our town green all the way through the end of September. Please come and join us. In conclusion, I would like to thank you for your continued patience and understanding as we move forward. Following my remarks, we will showcase a new PSA from our talented staff on the reopening of town government. Some departments will be opening today, and other departments will follow. We will adhere to the governor's orders and consult with public health officials in making any decisions that will impact the health and safety of our staff and our residents. There have been many questions and interest in our summer camps, town pool, recreation, and sports programs. We are planning to open all of these services, but we must do it in a safe and legal manner. I want to thank the people of Enfield for their hard work, diligence, sacrifice. You made the difference. Your actions over the past 2 months are why we are in the position to open successfully today. Without you, we wouldn't be here where we are, and we, again, sincerely thank you for your efforts and your involvement in this process. Our staff and I remain available to assist you. Please continue to check our website for updates or sign up for alerts through Notify Me for the latest information. Be safe, be well. I thank you for your attention tonight, and I look forward to a time in the near future where we will all be able to gather again together here in the Town Council chambers at Town Hall. Good evening.